So my friend's '04 Black Mach 1 has had the oil filter adapter gasket leaking. It's leaking oil. They can leak oil or coolant because both pass through here. So he brought it over and we decided to swap that gasket out. We got the whole assembly out with just disconnecting the lower radiator hose where it goes to the thermostat, and then obviously the bolts that hold the housing in place. And I was surprised to look up in here and see that on the block side there's kind of a chunk missing out of the aluminum here around where the coolant passes through, and that's pretty interesting. It wasn't leaking or anything, it's on the inside of it, but I've never seen that before, so thought that was pretty interesting. So we got the gasket out and we could see it was leaking oil. I've had them leak both coolant and both oil depending on which car, and you can see here where the stock gasket was compromised. There's a little bit of a crease there. I've had them leak oil like this on my cousin's red Mach 1. My blue one was leaking coolant out of the other part of the gasket, and Ford has a new gasket which is a metal gasket, and I'm not sure if the sealing portion is a little thicker or not, but it seems to be a really good piece. This is for all 4 6-liters, and I think even some of the F-150s and the 5.4s, but this is the gasket that Ford recommended. I went in and they told me that this is the new revised gasket and it works for all of them, because there used to be a difference between the GT, the Cobra, and the Mach 1s. So anyway, that's the new gasket we used, and we got that all installed, and then we were burping the cooling system. Luckily we got the crossover cap off. A lot of times these strip.
Yep.
You can also see we added some Teflon tape to the bottom threaded portion of the oil filter adapter gasket there. We did that while it was off, and everything looks good. No leaking. It is really messy under here because the car has been leaking oil for a couple thousand miles like this, and so it was better to get it done so it wasn't bleeding to death. Ford gave me this part number when I went into the dealer. This is the part number for it. I've seen them with a B and a BA at the end too. So if you need that part number, there it is. But it's a new metal gasket with the nice thick rubber on it. So everything checked out. We made sure to add oil because the oil filter lost about half a quart when you change that, and we also made sure that the coolant level was burped and topped off, and he's going to keep an eye on that. We ran the car to get it up to temperature, and we ran the heater so that the heater core would have coolant running through it and everything. It all seemed pretty good. So we'll keep an eye on the car, make sure that everything is good, it's not leaking, make sure the levels don't change, make sure it doesn't overheat or anything, but I think it's going to be pretty good. So I did this job on my blue Mach 1, I've done it on my red Mach 1, I've done it on GTs. I'll link the video on the blue Mach 1. It was a little more in depth. It shows me cleaning the mating surfaces with the Scotch-Brite and everything I did on that one, especially if there's a little pitting in the aluminum, which happens. But I'll link that video at the end. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.